That's right, it's 1840 and it took us just 4 years to unite the Netherlands as Belgium in the new 1.10 patch. We made the Netherlands a true capitalist utopia with the best law system. We have nearly 100 million GDP in just one state of Wallonia. We are the leading producer of multiple prestige goods. We have companies making millions. So stick around and see how you can achieve success with Belgium. And if you're thinking about picking up National Awakening or any other Victoria free DLC and you would like to support the channel at the same time, check out the link in the pinned comment. You will get the Steam code just like normal and a small cut goes to me. It's a great way to grab some new content and help the channel grow. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, we're gonna go over to our diplomacy, and as you can see guys, we have a couple of treaties established from the very beginning, and the one with Great Britain is super important. We're going to click here and we're going to renegotiate this treaty. If we want to get all of the Netherlands in just 4 years, we will need an alliance with the British, so we will grab this. We will offer them power block embassy, owe them an obligation, prohibit trade of tools. We're also going to add no tariffs and no subventions on tools as well. And the last thing we need to do is just remove trade privileges from their side, and this will give us at least plus 30 acceptance, which is needed for them to 100% accept this deal. There we go, let's just give this a proper name and let's establish this for 5 years. They have accepted our treaty, which is amazing. Another very important thing that I want to point out about our beginning is that we start as a minor power. We only have 47 prestige. If we want to become a major power, we need to have at least 67. Being a minor power gives us less maneuvers per diplomatic play. We don't get any loan interest rate reduction, so it's very important to upgrade our status. Thankfully, as Belgium, we have amazing technology. We have nearly everything on tier 2 already researched from the beginning, so of course we also have romanticism, which unlocks arts academies. Now, if we hover over the production of fine art, we can see that we are not a significant producer, but the first place is Great Britain with just 15 units being produced, and they're getting 40 prestige for that. So essentially, if we take their place, we can double our prestige, which is pretty crazy. Which means we're gonna go over to Wallonia, which is going to be our primary state. We're going to build a couple of construction sectors, and we're going to follow these up with 5 arts academies, and then afterwards we can just build the industrial goods and the industrial buildings that we will need for us to support the construction sector. So let's grab ourselves a few iron mines, a few logging camps, a couple of additional tooling workshops, and later we will just pay attention to our market, see what kind of shortages we have, and we will build it depending on that. Now we can also establish some decrees. We're gonna go with road maintenance both on Flanders and Wallonia. You don't have to establish this on both the states at once. You can just keep it on one and rotate it depending where you're currently building. I just don't want to min-max everything so much, so I will just grab both. I'll also go with manufacturing industries, and we can go for greener grass campaign decrease. With the leftover authority, we can just grab some consumption taxes for liquor. Alright, let's go back to our research. We're going to start with production. Let's go with water 2 boiler. And then actually I would love to finish everything on tier 2 before going for immediately nitroglycerin into dynamite, because I tend to skip nitroglycerin as a production method. Guys, Belgium has one of the best companies in the game available from day one. We have industries for tooling workshops, steel mills, motor industries, and we can even add an additional one for iron mines. I'm also going to give this company investment rights and trade rights. And eventually we will have the precision tools, which will give us a crap ton of prestige. And also, as you can see, precision tools are used in a billion of different buildings, and it increases these buildings throughput by 20%, which is wild. It has to be one of the best, if not the best prestige good you could have. Now we're going to declare some interests. Actually, we're going to remove our standard interest from Iberia, and we're going to move it to Gran Colombia and Senegal. We're going to rival a few countries such as Portugal, Spain, Bavaria, and later on we will rival more countries if they're available, but for now this is going to be enough for us to start improving relations with the great powers. Now guys, we can go over to our politics, our government, and we will be reforming it. We will remove the Liberal Party and we will add in the Catholic Party as well as the Rural Volk in here. In my case, fortunately, I have 48 legitimacy, so I can just go ahead and reduce our taxation a little bit, and this will move us to 50 plus, which means we won't have this negative modifier adding 50% enactment time. It's a bit RNG dependent. If you have lower legitimacy in your game, I would say just you don't need to particularly mess with the taxes. It's not that important, but if you can get to 50 plus that easy, then you should do it. Now for the first law, we will go and switch out our trade policy to protectionism. If we go over to our institutions, we can see that we already have education established. We have level 2 education, and we could upgrade this to level 3. Although what I like to do is get a different education system, such as private or public schools first, and only then upgrade it because it increases the Catholic Church political strength. We're going to subsidize our trade centers as well as arts academies, and then let's switch our production for secular administration and secular academia, as well as philosophy department on universities. When it comes to events such as the atmospheric engine, you always want to go with the option that gives you progress towards technology. It's going to be better in the long term than the one that gives you a little bit of throughput for a temporary 5 years. Alright, so we have a new election, and this did hurt our legitimacy. There's actually not much of a point for us to stay on low taxes, so we're going to return to medium. At least we did manage to get some good progress on protectionism until this happened. And a matter of fact, our economy is doing perfectly fine, so we're going to build a couple more construction sectors. And actually, guys, if we check our technology, we can see that we're getting joint stock companies from TechSpread. This means that we will soon have our second company, and I want this to be the paper company, which is why I'm going to queue up some additional paper mills, as we will need to have 5 of these in order to establish it. We can even put these to the front of the queue right after arts academies. Oh my god, Luxembourg wants a treaty, and they're willing to give us 1,000 weekly for 10 cloves. My dude, you can have these 10 jackets, what can I say? I've never seen something like this happen, but I'm not gonna complain. We got them fancy jackets, you know. Okay, so Great Britain wants us to join their power bloc, and we are going to accept. We don't want to piss them off because we still need their support in the Dutch war. You might be thinking, this is a sovereign empire type power bloc, so they can subjugate us. Well, they can only subjugate us in 5 years, and if we don't become a great power in the meantime, which we will become, so they will have no chance. The only question is, do we want to stay in this power bloc and use their principles, or do we want to form our own power bloc? And I think we can decide a bit later. Okay, Great Britain is fighting Qing. This is good timing. It means that by the time we are ready to fight, they will probably be ready to help us out. Russia is also fighting Qing, it seems. Yeah, so this won't take very long. We have some new production methods that we can switch to specifically for our mines, so we're going to establish condensing engine pump in all of them. And we're also going to switch our mills, workshops, and other manufactories to use water tube boiler. So this is going to be the most important event for us, the Hague call for a conference. This is going to add the London conference to our journal. And if you're not familiar with this yet, this was reworked in the previous patch in 1.9. The outcome depends on the total prestige of the backing great powers. So essentially we need them to back the Belgian claims. If you have been improving relations with the great powers from the beginning, usually you will have the favorable outcome. But if you don't want to risk this, just make a save. If it doesn't go your way, you know, you can just reload and try again. There we go. In our case, we're actually getting more prestige on the Belgian claims. We are completely good here because everybody has already voted. And check this out, guys. We currently have already 100 prestige, and we're getting 54 prestige from us being the top producer of fine art, the third producer of some other goods, and we are comfortably a major power. We're not dropping down, and we're soon going to become a great power. Alright, boom, there we go. We can ratify the Treaty of London. And the tiny Luxembourg that has been paying us money, which was very nice, is going to be annexed by us. Belgium takes on a Dutch debt of £0, and we have Luxembourg for ourselves, which means the state of Wallonia is even more powerful. We have a crap ton of mines here. And also, some of the great powers are now guaranteeing our independence, which is cool. There, let's grab even more prestige. Guys, we're about to fight the Netherlands, so we're going to upgrade all of our units. We're going to get a new general, and I like this one because he's got 10% additional morale damage, so I will recruit him. I will upgrade him once, and we can, if we want to, establish extra supplies. However, I won't do this yet because it probably will be pretty expensive for us and not needed. Instead, we will just go and replace some of our decrees from greener grass, and we're going to establish enlistment efforts in all of our states instead. Boom, we can cancel some of this manufacturing. This allows us to get quite a lot of conscripts, and we're going to max out. We're also going to go to our market, and I'm gonna go for maximum subventions on small arms and also ammunition. Before you start this war, you want to be 100% sure that you have declared interest on Senegal and Grand Colombia. If you haven't and you're just declaring them now, you will need to wait at least a month before you declare that war, otherwise you won't be able to full annex the Netherlands. And since we're ready, let's go conquer state, and we can see here that France could potentially join, Prussia, Austria. Let's just hope that we get someone like Austria and Bavaria. That would be perfect. We're just going to mobilize our army, send them to the front, and raise our conscripts for now. We are at 17-9 escalation, and in my case, nobody joined the Dutch so far. So we can realistically do this alone. I just want to show you what you should do in case you have like Bavaria, Austria, or even Prussia on the Dutch side. You should go here and invite Great Britain with call ally. This is going to cost you 20 maneuvers, but if you don't unpause the game, it's not going to deduct these maneuvers. So you will still have enough to add all the conquer state goals. You can take all of the Netherlands for around 70 maneuvers and only then unpause the game, and this will bring in Great Britain for you, so they will handle the situation. But I'm in my case just going to fight them one-on-one, so I will just add the conquer state goals and I won't invite Great Britain, simply because nobody is going to help them. To arms, boys, our war with the Netherlands has broken out. We have 77 infamy, so what we want to do is get some additional rivals because we need to make sure that we get this handled as soon as we can. So we're going to rival the Ottomans. Let's go with Brazil. And matter of the fact, we can even do Austria because I care more about Prussia than Austria. It would be awesome to have Prussia and Great Britain as our buddies since we are going to fight the French later. And check this out, with the help of our amazing conscripts, we are just totally crushing the Dutch. They have absolutely no chance to win this war. We managed to get protectionism, so we're gonna go for our next law, and that could be laissez-faire. Let's just go ahead and quickly reform our government. Let's go with the industrialist and intelligentsia option. And we have 37% to get it, so let's go. So we have this handled, guys. We can just immediately get rid of our conscripts. We don't need to pay for them. And boom, we have all of the Netherlands, easy as that. So guys, now let's go over to our diplomacy, nation formation, United Netherlands, and form it. A glorious union. We get 25 prestige for 20 years. We can go ahead and incorporate our brand new states, only 4 of them we need to incorporate. Make sure that we have a standardized filing system in all of our states so that we don't have issues with bureaucracy. Oh, and it seems they already had a company. I didn't even notice this, but they had Dutch Paper Incorporated, which is the company that I was gonna go for anyways. So I suppose if you don't want to integrate their company, whatever they have, you should just establish your second company before ending the war. But this just played out perfectly for us. We're actually going to add an additional industry to logging camps. Oh man, this is awesome. This guy even has 35 popularity with the basic entrepreneur and aesthetic traits. He increases arts building throughput, which is helpful to us, and also just basic throughput for everything by 5%. Now guys, if we go over to our national decisions, we can go for lowlands land reclamation, which is going to cost us 200 bureaucracy. But each year there will be a chance that our reclamation effort will get us more arable land in the Netherlands. Okay, we need to fix our wages. We need to reduce our military wages. We don't need to pay our army so much. Actually, I will be raising our taxes for a bit, and we will of course get rid of our enlistment effort decrease because this will allow us to get some good stuff like taxing services. Let's get the manufacturing back as well. Oh man, this is beautiful. 1840, we have what we need. Now you might be wondering what happened to the Dutch East Indies, and I will show you. This is what happened. They are released as their own separate country, and that's because there were some changes in the previous patch 1.9. If you full annex a country, you don't inherit their subjects, they are released. So essentially this is free real estate for the future, because right now we're not gonna focus on expansion. We have a lot of infamy and we still don't even have our own power block. So realistically our expansion is going to be us taking that one particular state from France and us growing our power block by subjugating some countries. So probably the best place for that would be South America. Oh, so Great Britain withdrew from the treaty themselves, which is great. This means that they will be losing leverage advantage over us. As you can see, it's going down super fast, so once this reaches 30 or lower, we will be able to leave the power block. Now if we check our market, we can see that we have big shortages for wood, so this is going to be our next focus. We're going to max out on the logging camps in Wallonia, and we're also going to max out in Flanders. Let's go ahead and pick some new interests. So we're gonna go for South America. We can go for Africa as well, where we will be establishing colonies in the future. We need a little bit more bureaucracy, so we're going to build a couple more government administration buildings, and we do have some tax capacity issues in Flanders and Wallonia, so we are going to build these in these particular states. Looks like we need more construction sectors. In our situations, we can see that we have insufficient construction for investment pools. So I'm going to build another 5 in Wallonia. Boom, there we go guys. Let's leave the power block and let's form our own one. We're gonna go for a trade league, and our first principle is going to be external trade. United Front. Yep, I like this name. Let's go boys. And we have laissez-faire. So now for our next law, let's go ahead and switch our education to public schools. I'm also gonna set all of our construction sectors to use iron frame buildings, so we will have nearly 100 construction already. I was gonna say, what the hell is going on in Flanders? Apparently we have a flood currently. It's wild how the map changes when you have these conditions going on. Like, this looks like a swamp currently. And we can get craft paper. We just need to get a little bit more of paper production going on. So let's queue up a couple more paper mills. And of course, to increase the demand for paper, we can build some universities. I actually want to have like 10 universities in both Wallonia and Flanders. So I'm going to build some in these two states right now. Land reclamation, we get 2 arable land in Friesland, good stuff. And we are about to get public schools, so I will just go ahead and immediately increase our education level to level 3. Alright, so we have the springtime of the peoples. Now, I'm gonna go with the first option here and support the conservative establishment. We're gonna have a capitalist utopia here, so we don't want no revolutions happening. The spark of revolution, we will go with the second option here so that we increase the radicalism a little bit less. Also, now let's switch our production methods. We're going to go with rail transportation for all of our buildings. Let's just make sure that we have enough railways. In Wallonia, we can probably get some more because it's quite profitable. But infrastructure, still looking great, still looking good. We began producing precision tools, so now we have a lot of prestige. Just by producing this one prestige good, we already get plus 60 from that, so we are the 6th great power. And our tools company is already making 24,000 company profit. On the other hand, the Dutch paper is also at 14,000, which is not too bad. If we check the global list, we can see that the tools company is actually the 2nd most profitable company after East India Company. Prussia likes us, we like Prussia. Let's establish a quick defensive pact with them. I will even give them an obligation. That's going to be worth it. Such a nice ally to have. And this is such a cool event. We get plus 5% state construction efficiency for 10 years, as well as industrialist approval, manufacturing industries throughput. Ooh, nice. Plus 25 legitimacy now. That's pretty spicy. Actually, I will use that to raise our taxes a little bit, and we will go ahead and go crazy with the economy by getting another 5 construction sectors in Wallonia. And I will even get another 4 here in Flanders so that we can have 5. Okay, Great Britain wants a treaty. They want trade privileges and investment rights. What if we negotiate, boys? Do we want to give us this alliance back? I would love that. They actually don't, which is unfortunate. We could go for like no subventions and no tariffs a little bit here, but that's not going to be enough still. And we cannot give them an obligation, so it's just not going to work. But they are fine with just exchanging trade privileges, so sure, let's get that established for now. Let's just try and be at least on some decent terms with them, and hopefully we can get this alliance a bit later. Because these guys, they still don't have an alliance, they only have a defensive pact with United States, so it's still possible for us to get one. Who the hell is producing so much paper? What is going on here? We only have 470, and in the third place, it is Great Britain with 1.5 thousand. So it's gonna be a bit harder to get the prestige good than I thought. Alright, you know what guys, I really want to go for a health system, so we will go ahead and get pharmaceuticals. Until then, let's go ahead and get National Guard, so this will appease petite bourgeoisie, armed forces, intelligentsia. A bunch of pops will become loyalists as well, so that's great, and it's a really good institution to have as well. We can now have up to 20 construction sectors, so we will use this opportunity to max out in Wallonia. Oh my god, I love these events. We're getting so much progress towards the laws. This is a very good game, not gonna lie. Yeah, so we're nearly done on tier 2 production. We can just finish chemical bleaching and immediately go for dynamite and steam donkey. And after we're done with these two, I would love to get reinforced concrete so that we can get another 15% construction sector building throughput. We have a National Guard and we have access to a health system, so let's try and establish public health. We're down to 7 infamy as well, so this is a good moment for us to build up a stronger navy and do some naval invasions, that's right. I'm gonna go ahead and get like 20 light ships and let's go with like 10 heavy ships as well. That's gonna be a decent enough navy. We already have 53% for public health insurance thanks to different events that we got, so this is going to take no time for us to get. I actually will get level 2 home affairs, and we will need to get a little bit more bureaucracy if we want to increase the health institution levels, so let's at the same time once again fix the tax capacity in Wallonia and Flanders. And we are finally one of the top actually the first producer of paper. It seems that countries are producing less paper now because we just exceeded a Great Qing. So we will soon have our second prestige good. And we can think about getting our third company, so we will need investment banks for that. Yeah, we can focus on society research afterwards a little bit more. So we have this radical in the intelligentsia interest group, but we have the perfect replacement for him. I found a jingoist, so I'm going to actually invite him to the government because he endorses colonial exploitation, which is a law that we want to get. So we're going to promote this guy. We're going to grant him leadership immediately. Oh, this is great. Look at that. 39% success chance for colonial exploitation now. The rural folk would lose 20 loyalty, but they are so loyal currently that it don't even matter at all. Let's go. Okay, we have a few ships, boys. Let's start with a nice little Congo invasion. Historical Belgium. I thought Spain would at least join to protect them, but it looks like nobody gives a damn. So we will just quickly take this over. Thank you very much. Boom, there we go. Engines of progress. 4,000 progress towards steel railway cars. I believe we already got some progress towards it, didn't we? Yeah, we had another event that gave us another 4,000, so we're nearly done with steel railway cars without even doing anything ourselves. We can surely queue this up. And we also have dynamite, guys, so we're going to immediately switch all of our mines to use it. We didn't go with the nitroglycerin because we didn't want to increase the mortality of our pups. We preserved our population. And now we're going to need way more explosives. Speaking of which, we also have a new production method for this. And let's see, if we want to build some explosive oh my god, look at this productivity. 7,000 earnings per explosive factory in Wallonia. Well, we're going to queue up as long as they're productive. We have Congo, boys, so we have our first establishment in Africa. Let's go ahead and incorporate this. From here, we can go for a protectorate. Let's go for Argentina. And we're getting more and more ships. We already have 15, so for this invasion, we can use a bit of a larger army as well. More construction sectors are needed. Give me another 10 real quick. We already reached 20 million GDP and it's only 1854. And guys, we just got colonial exploitation, so let's establish some colonies. I'm gonna start with Niger Delta over here. Looks like France is establishing a colony here, so we might be able to make a switch with them at some point of the game. Maybe they will give us like a fully established colony for this part of Niger Delta that we will have. That would be actually a nice revenue change. If we went for proportional taxation, that's plus 17,000 immediately, so let's go. This is what our government currently looks like, and that's why it's even possible for us to switch this law, because we just got the trade unions in. Not very good legitimacy currently, but it's not too big of a deal. As long as we have 25 and plus, we're good. Okay, let's just make sure that we have railways everywhere. Boom. And we have steam donkey. Beautiful. Okay, immediately let's start improving relations with Argentina, and next we can probably go for Chile. Do you want to become our protectorate? Yes, they do. They would love that, but Great Britain on the other side would not love that. Minus 36 acceptance is a bit concerning. Maybe we can look for a better alternative. Even Russia is protecting a bunch of these countries. That's so wild, man. Okay, looks like Marina Kingdom is gonna be an easy one, so we can take that right now. And Oman sides with them, which is also just perfect. That's gonna be a nice little two birds with one stone for us. Oh, never mind, they just back down. Okay then. You're lucky, Oman. You're very lucky, my friend. So Marina Kingdom is an unrecognized power currently, which means it doesn't add towards our mandate progress. It's not great, but it still contributes prestige towards our rank, so you know, it's going to be easier for us to become the third best power block and unlock the fourth principal slot. We also just need 2 more members to get the third slot available. Seems like we have a good opportunity to make Peru our protectorate, because it's unlikely that the United States or Russia would intervene, so I will take that chance. We have Ecuador siding with Peru. I really hope they won't back down. That would be just beautiful to get both of these guys. Okay, let's make them a protectorate as well. Did East Indies increase their autonomy? Dominion of oh my god, what the hell is going on here? Just go for the independence, guys. And we did get into a war with both Ecuador and Peru, so we're just gonna take these guys out real quick, invite them pleasantly into our power block. North German Federation withdraws from the treaty. Prussia very strong, and it's really good that we have a defensive pact with them. It is really good. We have been improving relations with Great Britain, so we might be able to adjust this trade privileges treaty that we have here. Maybe it's gonna be possible for us to eventually grab this alliance. Doesn't really seem like it's possible right now though. Marina Kingdom is doing an amazing job. They managed to increase their rank, so we're getting this mandate super fast now. In just 8 months, we finally will be able to get another principal. In our capitalist utopia, we will have no social security. That's how mafia works. But we're not total monsters. We will restrict child labor. Don't tell anyone, but I'm doing this just because we will be able to increase our education. Now the question is, do we want to promote national values? We're not going for like a national supremacy or ethno-state run this time. If we check our population, we can see that, for example, in Wallonia, we actually have 75% Valonian pops, we have 4% Flemish, 14% are French, and French is not one of our primary cultures. If we go to our society tab and cultures, we can see that our primary ones are Dutch, Flemish, and Valonian. We have nearly 1 million of French pops in total. I actually don't think it's going to be worth it because majority of our pops are of accepted culture. And we don't really have like any spare authority to spend. I don't want to cancel our current decrees. They're working wonders for us. Oh my god, we have great attitude from Great Britain. They love us because we don't really like the French that much right now. I think this is it. I think we will be able to renegotiate this treaty finally, get this alliance. Yep, easy as hell, boys. Easy as hell. You know what? I'll be so kind and give you no tariffs and no subventions on luxury furniture. Maybe we can do the same with merchant marine. Don't need to thank me. Let's go for 25 years. Boom, there we go. Beautiful. Who can stop us now, guys? We have Great Britain and Germany on our side. More colonial affairs institution investments are available, so let's make sure we're maxed out. For the principal, I will go with colonial offices first. I really want to get this additional colonial growth generation eventually, so let's get this first. We do have an explorer. I was gonna try and get a new admiral, but it looks like we don't have to. We can just go ahead and start some expeditions now too. There we go. We're going to send the explorer on the mission because it's going to make the events more favorable for us. We really need wood currently, but we don't really have a good spot to build it up because we're pretty much maxed out on our logging camps. We only have some available in the states that are not yet incorporated. So I think we're gonna be better off if we just raise subventions for now. And you know what? I think we need to get our tech game up a little bit, so we're going to build more universities. We only built 10 universities in Flanders and Wallonia, so I'm going to get 10 in all of our Dutch states, and I'm going to do more in Wallonia. Let's have like 30 or 40 here. I think I'm also going to make a bigger professional army, so we're going to get some additional units, because it's likely that we will fight Brazil in the near future. I do want to have a bigger army than them at least. Let's get some cavalry and some artillery as well in here. We are done with tier 2 research on society, so we can go for mutual funds and work our way towards investment banks. Okay, so I was gonna make New Granada our protectorate, and then we can see that France is like probably going to help them. We would have Britain with pretty much 2 times the battalions of France. And of course, we are much stronger at this point, so I think we can go for this. I think we can do it. If France wants to join, we might have to yoink one of their states, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just warning you, France, you better, you better not join. You better not join, bro. You better not join, and they did. Oh boy, you're done. Because I am getting Great Britain in this war. Sweden actually wants... I'm actually going to offer them an obligation. Why not? Let's bring them in. So, I'm gonna be taking French Low Countries. That's 28 infamy, that's acceptable. I actually kinda wanted to take the French colony here in Guyana, but I think that's a bit too much, isn't it? That's 10 infamy, I think we can afford it. Let's go for it. And I'm just going to ignore New Granada for now. We're gonna go to the French front here. Also, let's make sure that this goes smoothly. We will go for extra supplies this time. Let's go for medical support and even get some chocolate and some tobacco going. I'm gonna get a couple of conscripts as well. Oh wow, we even have Spain in this war. That's a big one, boys. To arms, they did not back down, which is just perfect. We have a nice little advantage here, and look at that, we have multiple battles going on at the same time. The Spanish are getting defeated. There we have a direct battle between us and the French. French are actually pushing us hard. We're gonna continue pushing though, as long as we have an advantage here. Doesn't look like we need to defend, even though we don't have all of our conscripts yet. We are already occupying some territory. And we also have a new mandate. I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade our colonial offices. Dude, we already have the second best power block. That's wild. If we check all blocks, obviously it's the British Empire. They have like 3 times of our prestige. Yeah, that's kinda the regular. Okay, there we go. With the help of Britain, we are winning every single battle now. So France is done. They will leave this war very, very shortly. So for the third company, I'm gonna go with Wallonia Munitions because I would love to have this 10% goods cost reduction. And high-grade explosives are used in the mines, so it's going to increase their throughput by 20%. It's going to be just lovely. Let's go. For the additional industry, we're going with sulfur mines because we already have the steel mills with our first company. So we don't need to make this overlap. And there we go, guys. France is out. We have 2 new states. Let's go. We have 2.5 million population over here. Guys, don't look at this. They're totally not all starving. There's definitely more than 1 piece of grain available on that state. Actually, this is such a nice state, all things considered. It has additional plantations and agriculture throughput. It has additional coal mines building throughput. And 100 coal mines are available. That's actually really good. New Granada is now our protectorate, so we have nearly all of South America if we check our power block map, except for Venezuela and Brazil. In the near future, what we will do is probably just liberate a couple of countries from Brazil, so that later we can just subjugate everybody else. And if we ever fight France again, we will probably release a bunch of countries from them as well. But now, guys, for quite a long time, we can chill and once again just focus on our economy because we do have quite a lot of infamy. French Republic supporting separatism. Oh no. You mad, bro? Are you mad? We completed the Panama survey, so we will get to construct the Panama Canal journal entry now, improve relations with our subject New Granada, and essentially we just need to improve relations a little bit more with them so that we can make an offer for them and get a little bit of land in Panama, which is going to allow us to construct the Panama Canal and get a unique company established. Oh, I was like, did Great Britain already get the piece of Sinai? But they didn't. This is Lower Egypt. This means that we can survey the Suez Isthmus. Let's go for that as well. We have 88% French population in the French Low Countries, so I think I will go with the Promote National Values decree in that particular state. Let's go with a little bit of violent suppression on them as well. Yet another expedition is completed. We get way more prestige. We have 1400 prestige and we are the second great power right now. Considering that we own so little land ourselves, well, apart from a couple of colonies that we have in Africa, and of course these are our subjects, we don't control land directly in South America apart from Guyana. I think it's pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good. Now let's check the company's global list. We already have the most profitable company in the world, and Dutch Paper Incorporated is not doing half bad as well. We have nearly 40,000 profit with Wallonia munitions too, and we're about to get high-grade explosives. As we are one of the world's best producers of explosives, we are once again in the first place. Great Britain is producing like 5 times less explosives than we are. I think I'm gonna be raising the subventions for exports on our tools and paper, which we have prestige goods with, because we do have a nice surplus on these goods. I guess we can raise up our coal as well a little bit, since we have a huge access to coal mines now, with the French Low Countries being ours. And yeah, this should drive our economy up nicely. We already have 65 million GDP. It's only 1865, guys. Look at this steady rise in our graph. Oh man, this is so beautiful. GDP per capita, we're also in the 3rd place. We were in the 2nd place for a bit here. We're actually tied with Western Australia. Let's go for even more universities. I'm gonna do 10 more per state. We have education on level 4 now. We're also going for level 4. Colonial growth, and it's going to give us so much colonial growth considering that we have the 3rd colonial offices level. Let's go for another colony here in South Africa. We have a nice little chunk here of the Niger Delta. We actually have 1 million population living in this colony already, and it has some rubber plantations, which is going to be pretty useful. I love when we get more innovation from our expeditions. This is why I really love the expeditions. Apart from the massive prestige boosts that you get, the innovation is so nice to get. We're truly making a capitalist utopia, aren't we? Look at our upper strata living lavishly with 54 standard of living, which is a pretty severe difference compared to the lower strata, which are still impoverished. And that's where we want to keep them. That's where we want to keep them. I gotta say that's a pretty interesting Austria that we have in this game. They have subjects of Serbian voivodeship. They have Transylvania, Croatia, Hungary is annexed. Ottomans still have a part of Serbia over here. And actually Montenegro is alive and kicking inside of Austria. Austria also has this little bit in North Africa here, dividing Tripolitania and Tunis. So Ottomans, you could say, yeah, they're not having a great game, but they are still a great power somehow. So I guess they're not completely ruled out, are they? On the other side of the world, we no longer have a Korea. Russia fully annexed them. United States is doing pretty good as well. Look at that. Mexico is divided in 2 halves. And they are going for another play in Mexico. They're about to take a couple more states from them. No, they're taking 3 states at once. And these are pretty big ones. Oh my god, they're going to look disgusting after USA takes this because they're not like directly connecting their land. They're going for total border gore here. New mandate available, boys. Right now I want to go for companies because this will allow us to get yet another company. That would be awesome to have. We have French mass immigration. They're coming to Flanders and the surrounding states. See, the people know where's the true utopia, and that's to the north of France. We don't have police yet. We need police. Yes, we need police. Let's go for it. Now that I think about it, if we're playing for this capitalist utopia theme, I think it would make more sense for us to switch out National Guard into secret police. Or is that like more of a communist thing to do? Austria sided with North German Federation in the Diplo play against French Republic. What's going on here? Oh, that's a unification play. Holy crap. We're gonna have a massive Germany soon. Okay, we can acquire land in Panama. Let's go, and let's also acquire land in Sinai. Boom, there we go. We can incorporate brand new little provinces that we got over here in Egypt and in New Granada. The incorporation is going to take some time, 10 years over here, and in Egypt it's 21 years. So after we're done with the incorporation, we're gonna have these unique buildings available to us. Suez Canal, and we of course have the Panama Canal. Holy crap, our authority is absolutely cooked. Yep, we need to get rid of some decrees. Don't need the road maintenance over here. Let's actually get rid of the suppressed separatism and the national values. Did we even make any progress here? We had national values like for a good minute. Not really, still 88% French pops. So here we are a few years later. We already have 100 million GDP. We are currently building a lot of steel mills and glass works because we're going to do a switch to steel frame buildings, but we're not just going to switch everything at once. We're going to do state per state because right now in Wallonia we're going to make a switch. With 20 construction sectors, this is already going to require us to have a lot of steel and glass. If we were to switch everything, it would create a huge shortage and it wouldn't really reflect well on our economy. We have compulsory primary schools so we can continue upgrading our education and we can get the last level. We don't have the ability to go for multiculturalism yet, so we're at least going to try to get cultural exclusion. And yeah guys, our infamy is pretty low right now and we need to have more members in our power block, otherwise we cannot get the fourth principle. We're nearly maxed out on external trade. We already have level 3 companies, so we need to get 2 more members in here. Let's go for Bolivia first. Okay, so they just back down. That's just perfect. Now if we were to go for Brazil, I'm afraid that there will be too many countries defending them. It looks like it would only be Austria. Russia doesn't want to defend him anymore. I looked like a year or 2 years ago and it was a completely different situation. Now this actually looks like a very good play for us. This actually might be because we built up a bigger army. We now have 126 battalions. So yeah, let's go for liberate country play because they're a bit too big for us to make them a protectorate directly. We're going to release some countries such as Confederation of Ecuador. Did I liberate Paraguay? I was trying to steal it. I think I clicked her. Oh my god, that sucks. Okay, we're gonna fight them as well. And guys, it's time to get some power plants. We're going to build at least 1 power plant in each of our states right now. And then we can switch our production methods, at least for the logging camps, to use electricity. Afterwards, we will just see how many more we will need and we will build that amount. Okay, there we go. We can go for electric sawmills. What the hell is going on? Ottoman Empire sided with Mexico against USA. What does Ottoman Empire have to do in North America? Don't you guys have like your own problems here in the Balkans? I mean, you don't control Serbia anymore. You let Greece expand and you're out there joining place against Mexico. That's some nice priorities, man. We, in the meantime, we're just going to make Venezuela our protectorate and Haiti as well, as they decided to join to defend them. I'm sorry, little buddy, but we're not going to allow this. So guys, we already have this little part of Panama integrated, which means we can begin building the canal. Let's go. So that's going to take 140 weeks. That's quite a lot. So I think it's going to be time for us to get automotive industries. We are now researching corporate governance for another company. We're going to go for telephone and then combustion engine, which is going to give us automotive industries and some new amazing production methods such as chainsaws for logging camps. All right, this is beautiful. We finally have the Panama Canal company available. This is going to give us 50,000 tax income, 1 additional company, 25% trade advantage, and even the prestige good of Swift Merchant Marine. That's why the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal companies are so amazing, because they just pretty much don't occupy a company slot. You can grab another company right afterwards. Boys, I think this is my first time seeing AI become an independent India. This is actually pretty wild. We already have 217 million GDP. It's time to start growing even faster, and we're going to get a crap ton of electrics industries as well as automotive industries, which are going to be very, very profitable for us. Wallonians become obsessed with fine art. We get 20% additional arts academy building throughput. So if we go into the society here, we can see that Wallonia has obsession with fine art, Dutch doesn't have an obsession, Flemish also doesn't have one, French are obsessed with wine, and apparently Hungarians are also obsessed with wine. Everybody, what the hell is going on? Everybody's obsessed with wine. The year is 1899. We are the richest country in the game. We are the leading producer of 5 different prestige goods. Guys, we're making 136,000 precision tools, which is just bonkers. If we go to the companies list, we can see that our tool company is making 2 million in profit, which is more than 2 times than the second company owned by the German Empire. And if we go into the ledger, we can see that we have the highest GDP with 381 million. Great Britain is below us with just shy of 250 million. The second best power block with 18 members in it. We are maxed out on the principles as well. We own most of South America. We have some colonies in Africa as well. A little bit of an establishment here in Tibet, in Arabia. And yeah, it was a fun game. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to click the like button, subscribe for more. If you would like to get the National Awakening or any other DLC, then please use my link in the pinned comment. This is the best way to support the channel, so thank you so much for that, and I will see you next time. A big thanks to all the YouTube channel members. You guys are all amazing.